And they have made great strides on this apparatus forward, haven't they? We've always said in the past that they've got an Achilles heel. It is, in fact, bars. But the Romanians have made great strides.
Well, she's a young gymnast, just 16 years of age, and she actually only qualified right down in 22nd position for this final, but it was because she had a terrible floor routine score. All her other scores were quite reasonable, so I'm sure she'll go a little higher.
Mustafina, 15.375. And that will just tell you what she promised. But look at the face that she's in. She mustn't continue, Chris, if she's in pain. It's not a good decision, I think, I'm sure.
Well, you know, she's their future Olympic champion. I'm sure no one will want to risk a bad injury.
Elizabeth Seitz. She qualified in a very creditable 4th place, carrying the German hopes of a medal with her. And she's not too far away, 0.5 of 3rd place in qualifying. So this, very important.
Round off the lift, the double twist, very clean, very good vault. Lifting her start value tremendously.
Do they want the shoulders round twice or the hips round twice?
Well, shoulders, hips and feet. Did you think there was a little bit of a question?
Shoulders, I'm not sure whether. I think it was 1 7/8 with the shoulders. I might be.
I think as long as the feet are round,
yeah,
they're happy. But we couldn't see clearly
Let's
the
have
feet.
a little look.
Let's have a look now.
Great vault, nice high.
Yeah, I think they'll give the feet round.
Yeah.
Yes. A little bit 1 foot in front of the other, so there'll be a bit of a deduction.
It looked as if 1 7/8.
Yes, you're right, Mitch. Yes, yeah. I mean, just depends how tight they're being about it.
So what would they do in that case? Give it
1.5 and give the start value for the 1.5.
That's it. 13.825 on bars. Anna Whelan. Good all-round gymnast, isn't she?
She is. She was one of the team at the last Olympics, and she's worked tremendously since then, grown a lot. She's from Liverpool Gymnastic Club, City of Liverpool Gymnastic Club. She's coached by Amanda Redden, trains with Beth Tweddle, very much training partners. And she's the current British champion. She qualified 12th. And will be very keen to try and improve on that position.
Hannah Whelan for Great Britain. Her first apparatus of 4.
And starts with the Shaposhnikova straight into the Ginger, and just didn't give it enough. That's a shame, because it's a very original connection of the up to the high bar, swing back, swing forwards, and into the Ginger. You see, she swings back here, up, turn, and into the Ginger, but she just didn't have quite enough swing to make it. That's a shame, because she's actually reserved for bar final, so she hit it very well in qualification. Good handstand, turn, into the Jaeger, the front somersault, so that's her second release. Very good and precise in her handstand shapes. Lovely full turn in the clear circle. Holds the handstand again. Winds up into the double front, half turn in, double front. That was a great shame, because this bar work is improving greatly.
It was a shame. And so unusual to see the Ginger done facing the low bar like that. It was courageous. But there, that's a nice smile. There's Beth there, look. Yes. Don't worry about it, it'll come again.
Yes, it will.
Voice of experience.
That's right.
Elizabeth Seitz, good start, 14.625. there's a very sad picture. Alia Mustafina will not take further part in this competition, I'm sure.
That is a great shame. We'd also very much looked forward to seeing her, and it didn't look like that was a sore knee she was carrying. It just looked like it was a little bit offline landing, and not a tremendously offline landing at that.
Irina Boksogo from Hungary. And we haven't seen a top-ranking Hungarian gymnast for some time, have we?
No, we haven't. But that's very nice vaulting, isn't it? Good height, good lift, lovely straight body. Now, I was going to say, though, Mitch, I went to a big junior competition at the end of last year, and they had a very, very good junior as well from Hungary. So I think perhaps they're on the move again.
Well, she qualified in 23rd place. Plenty of resolve and determination on that approach. Got hold of the twist nicely, a bit wild with the head, but brought it under control.
Good style.
Anna Whelan, 12.85. 13th place at the moment.
Always tough to make the mistake on your very first piece and then have to pick yourself up and perform afterwards. She had a good qualification on bars and beam. She's qualified for the beam final, so she will be very pleased with that.
Irina Boksogo, 13.5 on vault. Ninth place for her at the moment.
Erster Ergebnis für Antje von Wallersen-Boden. 13,5 Punkte, 13.5. Und weiter geht's jetzt am Stufenbarren mit Veronika Wagner.
This is Veronica Wagner from Sweden. And again, we haven't seen a lot of Swedish gymnasts in the top rank for a little bit.
No, but there are two in this final. And Veronica Wagner, very experienced gymnast.
Veronica Wagner from Sweden on bars.
Clear circle, a little bit short on her first handstand, but cleanly through the full pirouette. Coach underneath watching closely for the ginger. Performs it well. The shoot down and shoot up that the gymnasts have to perform if they want a good score. Half turn, swings forwards, into handstand, into a double front dismount. Oh, but she didn't lift her heels at all.
It didn't look on.
It didn't, did it? No.
It was never on.
On the release, she just lifted her hips rather than her heels, and really didn't give herself a chance to land that dismount.
So we've had a few thrills and some very unfortunate spills in this first rotation.
See, that very first element, she didn't quite hit the handstand.
Big move, that double front, isn't it? You've got to get it just right. Heels up for rotation. Analysing it now, of course. Just as with the men, you know, there's a lot of stories still to come. 3 apparatus remaining.
Absolutely. And really, Mustafina scored 59 in qualifying, and the rest scored from 56 down to 52, 51.7. So, you know, they were quite tightly packed, and there can be quite a bit of changing of places, I think, depending on performance.
Nothing good can come out of the accident to Alia Mustafina, but it opens the door for a very close and tight competition. This is Marta Pian-Kuletsa from Poland.
Very nice handspring, pike front somersault with half turn. Big step on landing. Clean vaulting.
It's a nice vault, that one. You kick the pike out and then roll the shoulders. It's a very nice vault to watch.
well flighted, and I think off this platform the gymnast can really get a good block and lift.
I really do like that. It kicks it out, very nice, smoothly done, but those paces will be expensive.
Yes, and not such a big start value as some of the vaults, as the double twists.
Veronica Wagner, 11.85. 18th from the 24 in this field. Still a long way to go.
There'll be many others to make a mistake. She just needs to fight back, because every gymnast has a position they want to achieve. Every gymnast will have set themselves a target with their coach.
Marta Pienkuleza, 13.575. 11th place.
The scores here on the vault are quite tight, aren't they?
They are, when you think of what they're like on the men's, but it's a tough job. I think the women's judges are severe. You've got to be the very best to come through. This is Julia Steingruber from Switzerland. 2 in the top 24. They too are making strides, aren't they?
They are. They're making very good strides. Always good vaulters. When the coach is in close, you always know they're just a little bit anxious about it, but the Shaposhnikova straight into the pack down, so they've got out of the way already the difficult bar transfers. Now they can just swing on the high bar. Nice full pirouette, flighted ginger, well held handstand, half a turn. There's the forward element, have to swing in both grips, up into the double front. Now she lifted her heels well.
That was a good routine. Well, they certainly are well worth their place in the final, the two Swiss women.
Not going for huge difficulty, but going for very clean and consistent performance.
A little bit short of handstand a couple of occasions, but that was plenty of height and flight in that ginger.
Very nice in the ginger. Just a little short on that half turn as well. There you see her swinging in the reverse grip. You see her lift the heels, pull the double front. Very nicely performed.
A beauty to finish. So the Swiss camp can be well pleased with themselves after the first rotation. Well, we've had a lot in this rotation, haven't we, Chrissy?
Well, we have. We've had all the spills, the strong performances, the upset. Interesting, you know, with Mustafina, in qualifying she didn't do the 2.5 twist. She only did a double twist. And so there's obviously a bit of a question mark against the 2.5. She's obviously having to work very hard to achieve it. And, you know, she could have won easily with just the double.
Hard to tell that to a gymnast, isn't it?
Yes, yes,
you
or
can
a
do
coach,
it.
yes, yeah.
You know, they want to showcase it. She's a beautiful gymnast. You made the point, beautiful and difficult. Have a look back at some of the other performances in that first rotation. Carlotta Felito, floor exercise.
Now first look at the floor exercise, and the dramatic entry. Starts very difficult, leap. And then the big tumble, the triple twist, very cleanly round. High double tuck. Gymnasts have to include double somersaults and twists. twist, the tumble with 2 somersaults in. Very efficient double spin with the leg high. Needs to finish with a big tumble. Lifts up the double pike.
Impressive. Such acceleration through the flicks for the somersault. She really understands the importance of that skill. 13.9 for Carlotta Filito. And this, unmistakably, is Vanessa Ferrari. Vanessa Ferrari from Italy, been European champion. And back towards her very best, Chris.
Yes, and starts with a lovely pirouette on the beam. It's great when you've seen gymnasts mature. She was such a tiny little gymnast when we first saw her. Grown up into an elegant young lady. Good backflip into layout somersault. Little bit of a wobble, but she recovered well. Links the change leg split sleep, the tuck back, and then the sheep jump.
At the risk of, I'm going to say it, when she was at the height, beam was her weakest piece. And she seems to have settled down nicely.
We are that change leg ring, you have to take the head right back, and if the judges feel you do, then it gets a very good reward. Planche that she's quite renowned for. Needs a big dismount. What are we going to see? Double pike. Well, that's experience for you.
Vanessa Ferrari, as you say, Chris, she's gone through adolescence and turned into a very competent gymnast. 13.75. Look at that planche. That's better now than it was when she was much younger. Great to see. Diana Chelaru, she qualified in 3rd place for Romania.
And the Romanian gymnasts, always great tumblers, full twisting double back. Whip him to triple twist. Smile says it all.
Lovely, bright little touches to the work, isn't there?
Yes, and of course, a lot of marks given for artistry, for choreography, as much almost as for tumbling. And those big leaps carrying nearly as many marks as a double back. Have to finish with a big tumble. Has to be of at least a D difficulty. She's going to show us double pike.
I thought it was quite delightful. He sold it well. Good sharp tumbling, lovely little touches. 14.55 for Diana Chelaru.
And that was as high a score as any in qualifying from anybody on floor.
Well, there we are, Stefina with that beautiful vault, which just went awry at the end. 15.375. Elizabeth Seitz in 2nd, Diana Chelaru and Dementieva in 4th there. Vanessa Ferrari in 8th. Celine van Gerle from the Netherlands and Danusia Francis in 12th. So, and Hannah Whelan, after a little problem on pass, in 19th at the moment. I'm sure she'll come back from that. But isn't it a shame, Christine? She's top of the pile, Alia Mustafina, and she won't post another score in this competition.
Yes, we're assuming that she'll be withdrawn. There hasn't been any official announcement, but they
Means
certainly...
the end of a competition, or at least a very much watered down competition for her. That would be an awful shame.
Yeah. But even greater shame to see her try and work on and make a really bad injury.
Absolutely. I was just going to say the crucial decision now is for the coaches and the doctor. Elena Grația from Romania. What do we know about her, Chris?
Well, she's a great vaulter, and that was a very nicely flighted front somersault, Jaeger somersault, quite clean bar work, just feet a little apart on the shoot down. She's strong in the swing, nice full pirouette, and a half turn, double front, very securely landed. Again, well, not exceptional work, but very clean.
And they have made great strides on this apparatus forward, haven't they? We've always said in the past, if they've got an Achilles heel, it is in fact bars. But the Romanians have made great strides.
Well, she's a young gymnast, just 16 years of age, and she actually only qualified right down in 22nd position for this final, but it was because she had a terrible floor routine score. All her other scores were quite reasonable, so I'm sure she'll go a little higher.
Mustafina, 15.375. And that will just tell you what she promised. But look at the face that she's in. She mustn't continue, Chris, if she's in pain. It's not a good decision, I think, I'm sure.
Well, you know, she's their future Olympic champion. I'm sure no one will want to risk a bad injury.
Elizabeth Seitz. She qualified in a very creditable 4th place, carrying the German hopes of a medal with her. And she's not too far away, 0.5 of 3rd place in qualifying. So this, very important.
Round off the lift, the double twist, very clean, very good vault. Lifting her start value tremendously.
Do they want the shoulders round twice or the hips round twice?
Well, shoulders, hips and feet. Did you think there was a little bit of a question?
I'm not sure whether, I think it was 1 7/8 with the shoulders. I might be.
I think as long as the feet are round, yeah, they're happy. But we couldn't see clearly the feet.
Let's have a little look.
Let's have a look now.
Great vault, nice high.
Yeah, I think they'll give the feet round.
Yeah.
Yes. A little bit 1 foot in front of the other, so there'll be a bit of a deduction.
It looked as if 1 7/8.
Yes, you're right, Mitch. Yes, yeah. I mean, just depends how tight they're being about it.
So what would they do in that case? Give it
1.5 and give the start value for the 1.5.
That's it. 13.825 on bars. Anna Whelan. Good all-round gymnast, isn't she?
She is. She was one of the team at the last Olympics, and she's worked tremendously since then, grown a lot. She's from Liverpool Gymnastic Club, City of Liverpool Gymnastic Club. She's coached by Amanda Redden, trains with Beth Tweddle, very much training partners. And she's the current British champion. She qualified 12th. And will be very keen to try and improve on that position.
Anna Whelan for Great Britain. Her first apparatus of 4.
And starts with the Shaposhnikova straight into the Ginger, and just didn't give it enough. That's a shame, because it's a very original connection of the up to the high bar, swing back, swing forwards, and into the ginger. You see, she swings back here, up, turn, and into the ginger, but she just didn't have quite enough swing to make it. That's a shame, because she's actually reserved for bar final, so she hit it very well in qualification. Good handstand, turn, into the Jaeger, the front somersault, so that's her second release. Very good and precise in her handstand shapes. Lovely full turn in the clear circle. Holds the handstand again. Winds up into the double front. Half turn in, double front. That was a great shame, because this bar work is improving greatly.
It was a shame. And so unusual to see the ginger done facing the low bar like that. It was courageous. But there, that's a nice smile. There's Beth there, look. Yes. Don't worry about it, it'll come again.
Yes, it will.
Voice of experience.
That's right.
Elizabeth Seitz, good start, 14.625. And there's a very sad picture. Earlier, Mustafina will not take further part in this competition, I'm sure.
That is a great shame. We'd also very much looked forward to seeing her, and it didn't look like that was a sore knee she was carrying. It just looked like it was a little bit offline landing, and not a tremendously offline landing at that.
Irina Boksogo from Hungary. And we haven't seen a top-ranking Hungarian gymnast for some time, have we?
No, we haven't. But that's very nice vaulting, isn't it? Good height, good lift, lovely straight body. Now, I was going to say, though, Mitch, I went to a big junior competition at the end of last year, and they had a very, very good junior as well from Hungary. So I think perhaps they're on the move again.
Well, she qualified in 23rd place. Plenty of resolve and determination on that approach. Got hold of the twist nicely, a bit wild with the head, but brought it under control.
Good style.
Anna Whelan, 12.85. 13th place at the moment.
Always tough to make the mistake on your very first piece and then have to pick yourself up and perform afterwards. She had a good qualification on bars and beams. She's qualified for the beam final, so she will be very pleased with that.
Irina Boksogo, 13.5 on vault. 9th place for her at the moment.
Erstes Ergebnis für Antje von Walfen-Boden. 13,5 Punkte, 13.5. Und weiter geht's jetzt am Stufenbarren mit Veronika Wagner.
This is Veronica Wagner from Sweden. And again, we haven't seen a lot of Swedish gymnasts in the top rank for a little bit.
No, but there are two in this final. And Veronica Wagner, very experienced gymnast.
Veronica Wagner for Sweden on bars.
Clear circle, a little bit short on her first handstand, but cleanly through the full pirouette. Coach underneath watching closely for the ginger. Performs it well. The shoot down and shoot up that the gymnasts have to perform if they want a good score. Half turn, swings forwards, into handstand, into a double front dismount. Oh, but she didn't lift her heels at all.
It didn't look on.
It didn't, did it? No.
It was never on.
On the release, she just lifted her hips rather than her heels, and really didn't give herself a chance to land that dismount.
So we've had a few thrills and some very unfortunate spills in this first rotation.
See, that very first element, she didn't quite hit the handstand.
Big move, that double front, isn't it? You've got to get it just right. Heels up for rotation. Analysing it now, sure, of course. Just as with the men, you know, there's a lot of story still to come. 3 apparatus remaining.
Absolutely. And really, Mustafina scored 59 in qualifying, and the rest scored from 56 down to 52, 51.7. So, you know, they were quite tightly packed, and there can be quite a bit of changing of places, I think, depending on performance.
Nothing good can come out of the accident to Alia Mustafina, but it opens the door for a very close and tight competition. This is Marta Pian-Kulece from Poland.
Very nice handspring, pike front somersault with half turn. Big step on landing. Clean vaulting.
It's a nice vault, that one. They kick the pike out and then roll the shoulders. It's a very nice vault to watch.
Well flighted, and I think off this platform the gymnast can really get a good block and lift.
I really do like that. It kicks it out, very nice, smoothly done, but those paces will be expensive.
Yes, and not such a big start value as some of the vaults, as the double twists.
Veronica Wagner, 11.85. 18th from the 24 in this field. Still a long way to go.
There'll be many others to make a mistake. She just needs to fight back, because every gymnast has a position they want to achieve. Every gymnast will have set themselves a target with their coach.
Marta Pian-Kulece, 13.575. 11th place.
The scores here on the vault are quite tight, aren't they?
They are, when you think of what they're like on the men's, but it's a tough job. I think the women's judges are severe. You've got to be the very best to come through. This is Julia Steingruber from Switzerland. 2 in the top 24. They too are making strides, aren't they?
They are. They're making very good strides. Always good vaulters. When the coach is in close, you always know they're just a little bit anxious about it, but the Shaposhnikova straight into the pack down, so they've got out of the way already the difficult bar transfers. Now they can just swing on the high bar. Nice full pirouette, flighted ginger, well held handstand, half a turn. There's the forward element, have to swing in both grips, up into the double front. Now she lifted her heels well.
That was a good routine. Well, they certainly are well worth their place in the final, the 2 Swiss women.
Not going for huge difficulty, but going for very clean and consistent performance.
A little bit short of handstand a couple of occasions, but that was plenty of height and flight in that ginger.
Very nice in the ginger. Just a little short on that half turn as well. There you see her swinging in the reverse grip. See her lift the heels, pull the double front. Very nicely performed.
A beauty to finish. So the Swiss camp can be well pleased with themselves after the first rotation. Well, we've had a lot in this rotation, haven't we, Chris?
Oh, we have. We've had all the spills, the strong performances, the upset. Interesting, you know, with Mustafina, in qualifying, she didn't do the 2.5 twist. She only did a double twist. And so there's obviously a bit of a question mark against the 2.5. She's obviously having to work very hard to achieve it. And, you know, she could have won easily with just the double.
Hard to tell that to a gymnast, isn't it?
Yes, yes,
you
or
can
a
do
coach,
it.
yes, yeah.
You know, they want to showcase it. She's a beautiful gymnast. You made the point, beautiful and difficult. Have a look back at some of the other performances in that first rotation. Carlotta Filito, floor exercise.
Our first look at the floor exercise, the dramatic entry. Starts very difficult, leap. And then the big tumble, the triple twist, very cleanly round. High double tuck. Gymnasts have to include double somersaults and twists. Twist, the tumble with 2 somersaults in. Very efficient double spin with the leg high. Needs to finish with a big tumble. Lifts up the double pike.
Impressive. Such acceleration through the flicks for the somersault. She really understands the importance of that skill. 13.9 for Carlotta Filito. And this, unmistakably, is Vanessa Ferrari. Vanessa Ferrari from Italy, been European champion. And back towards her very best, Chris.
Yes, and starts with a lovely pirouette on the beam. It's great when you've seen gymnasts mature. She was such a tiny little gymnast when we first saw her. Grown up into an elegant young lady. Good backflip into layout somersault. Little bit of a wobble, but she recovered well. Links the change leg split sleep, the tuck back, and then the sheep jump.
At the risk of, I'm going to say it, when she was at the height, beam was her weakest piece. And she seems to have settled down nicely.
We are that change leg ring, you have to take the head right back, and if the judges feel you do, then it gets a very good reward. Planche that she's quite renowned for. Needs a big dismount. What are we going to see? Double pike. Well, that's experience for you.
Vanessa Ferrari, as you say, Chris, she's gone through adolescence and turned into a very competent gymnast. 13.75. Look at that planche. That's better now than it was when she was much younger. Great to see. Diana Shelaru, she qualified in 3rd place for Romania.
And the Romanian gymnasts, always great tumblers, full twisting double back. Whip him to triple twist. Smile says it all.
Lovely, bright little touches to the work, isn't there?
Yes, and of course, a lot of marks given for artistry, for choreography. As much almost as for tumbling. And those big leaps carrying nearly as many marks as a double back. You have to finish with a big tumble. Has to be of at least a D difficulty. What's she going to show us? Double pike.
I thought it was quite delightful. He sold it well. Good, sharp tumbling, lovely little touches. 14.55 for Diana Chelleroux.
And that was as high a score as any in qualifying from anybody on floor.
Well, there we are, Fenner with that beautiful vault, which just went awry at the end. 15.375. Elizabeth Seitz in second, Diana Chelleroux, and Dementieva in fourth there. Vanessa Ferrari in eighth. Celine van Gerle from the Netherlands, and Danusia Francis in 12th. So, and Hannah Whelan, after a little problem on pass, in 19th at the moment. I'm sure she'll come back from that. But isn't it a shame, Christine? She's top of the pile, Alia Mustafina, and she won't post another score in this competition.
Yes, we're assuming that she'll be withdrawn. There hasn't been any official announcement, but they certainly wheeled her out and it didn't look promising at all. So the margin between success and disappointment and injury is so small. On the top of the world 1 minute, and absolutely in the depths the next.
Warm up on all of the four apparatus.
The arena's been changed for the women's apparatus very quickly, just 4 pieces of apparatus.
Stephanie Bizimpiku from Greece. 13.2 she scored on vault. Here she is on bars.
Yes, very nice pike in and out to handstand, but lost body tension there just a little bit. Straight into the ginger. Just slight hesitations. The second release, good Jaeger somersault there. Hits the handstand each time. Shows the handstand there well. Lifts up to the high bar. Just looking a little bit of a struggle now. Tiny bit bent knees creeping in. She winds up into the dismount, full twisting, oh, double back, and she really did look like she was running out of steam, didn't she?
Really have to pick the feet up from that. It's a strong dismount to twist and rotate around 2 different axes. Picked her knees up rather than her feet, didn't she?
She did, and the swing before was a little bit laboured. She looks just not quite strong enough for the work she's doing. It's a difficult balance. You want a light power-to-weight ratio, a good power-to-weight ratio, but you must be strong as well. The difficult skills these gymnasts perform need strength and power.
Ariella Kaisling in the background there. She's just mentally rehearsing, getting ready for beam.
She performed tremendously on beam in qualification and was one of a handful of gymnasts.
Ariella Kaisling, Switzerland.
And a very ambitious mount, round off straight back to land on 2 feet. Well negotiated. And the same somersault from the round off, again along the beam. Very difficult skills.
Used to be the province of the very tiny gymnast, didn't it? But she's negotiating it very well.
She's very strong on her landings. Precision on everything. That was the side somersault. And that, the jump down to the beam, we call Shushanova, after Shushanova, the first gymnast to perform it, although she performed it on the floor. And that, the change leg leap with a very definite half turn. Sets up the good full spin. Gymnasts have to include leaps, spins. Change leg into the tuck work. Well, she's been so precise and strong in the middle. Hardly a wobble. Perhaps not worked with huge speed, but fabulous precision. Lifts up, double pike dismount, just a step on landing. That was a strong performance.
Got hold of that first pike of the two, really whipped it round. Super, super finish.
She's mentally very strong gymnast, isn't she? Really fought all the way there, because that first element could have fallen off as easily as anything, I think.
Very brave, 2 feet from the layout start.
The round off layout somersault on the beam, and you can see she had to fight a bit, but she made a minimal adjustment.
Sights. Bars. Oh, yes, full twist in the ginger. Catching it well. Toe on catch. Exciting stuff. And a Jaeger to go with it. Almost lost the back shape and the handstand. Made the turn. Good transfer though. Good recovery to lower bar. Very exciting work. The full turn, straight in the full twisting double. Wow, exciting.
Excellent work. Really very exciting work indeed. We must have missed that first couple of elements, but the look on her face says they were all successfully negotiated. You can see the delight of the audience. Very good work. She was one of only 4 gymnasts who had over 6 start value in qualification. So this is a big routine for her.
Very exciting stuff.
And rising to the audience.
Well, she opened with a cracking vault. Ariella Kaislin, 14.15, good beam score.
Very good beam score, but a very good beam performance as well.
Bad sights. She started well on vault. She got 14.625. She's just done a very impressive bars. Have a look at it, Chris. Can you pick any obvious faults?
She does a 1-2 hand change before that Jaeger, which will be, a little bit of a deduction. But a lot of very good work, exciting work. She comes on beautifully late. Full pirouette, perhaps a little bit of a deduction for a little bit late, but good work.
We've zoomed over to the beam. This is Elena Razzia from Romania. Oh.
Fabulous backflip into full twist. Again, slightly offline, but she just held her middle tight. That's the secret to the good beam work. Middle tension. And she's packing the difficulty in, and like most of the Romanian gymnasts, she's very quick as she works, moves fast, therefore she can pack lots of difficulty in. 2 difficult leaps already, with turns. There's the free cartwheel and the side somersault. The gymnasts have to count 5 acrobatic skills, and the idea is that you get 5 D or E elements. And then they have to, oh, but that was a big wobble. She did very well to save that. And then they add in their 3 dance elements, 3 jumps and leaps, so they also have to be difficult. And that gives you your start value. She's done a lot of difficult work, but the dismount always has to be counted. So you want to dismount as well, and she has 2.5 twists.
Elena Razzia then. Good to see the Romanians back towards their best, and Elizabeth Seitz, well, the score was 14.725, and she finds herself top of the pile at the moment.
Well, that was the big routine for her. She's got a big start value, but a lot of risk, and you know, you have to go for it, and she did, and it paid off, and so that was a really encouraging performance. It's always fabulous to work in front of a home crowd. It can lift you as long as it doesn't daunt you.
Absolutely. Irina Obzogo from Hungary. She scored 13.5 on vault. And what can we expect on bars?
Well, it started with some very nice work indeed. Lovely straight line in the handstand. Bit of a late turn there, but very nice pike Jaeger somersault. But you see there, she just had a tiny cast, and that will be a half a mark deduction for a tiny cast. But she's smooth, just running out of swing a little bit there. A little bit of a late turn, but good forward swing. Nice endo, up to the handstand, into a big double front dismount. Well performed, lovely dismount, but just a couple of areas in the middle that will lose some marks.
I keep saying it, a lot of these nations that were formerly so great are now creeping back into the picture, aren't they?
They are, and they always have good basic work. They've got a tradition in their country to teach things right from the beginning. And all her work, you see, that was the very small cast. At least a 0.5 deduction for that small cast, if you don't go from handstand. I guess eventually she'll want to link the element before into that, shoot down to the low bar. But probably not quite confident enough to link them at the moment. Took the extra swing.
Two coaches discussing points. She's amused by whatever they said. Can she make up for her disappointment on bars? Hannah Whelan waits. So for Great Britain, Hannah Whelan, her second apparatus she'll be looking to put right what went adrift on bars.
Yes. Starts with a positive free walkover, but twisted a little on the jump. Links very nicely the change leg leap into the noddy, the half turn into forward walkout. There, the spin. And the two jumps, you have to link two jumps. Don't have to be too difficult jumps, but you have to link them. Big acrobatic series. The free cartwheel into the layout somersault, very difficult, very well rewarded. Unusual little backward roll over the head. Elegant. And that the very difficult change leg to ring, head right back. So, had to fight a couple of times. Needs this strong dismount. The 2.5 twist, good dismount. She'll be very pleased to have come back and stayed on there, but there were just a couple of wobbles that will have cost her in the score.
Foot definitely back on the ladder. Hannah Whelan then. Irina Obzogo from Hungary, 13.075 bars. You mentioned Henrietta Onodi. She was a great Hungarian gymnast, wasn't she?
She was. She was the greatest Hungarian gymnast we've ever seen, really. And the half turn onto your hands and walk over out is credited to her as the first gymnast to perform it on the beam.
Looks very, very concerned, Diana Shelleroo. Just nursing the shoulder. I'm sure it'll change. which is called upon to perform.
Slight, fast gymnast. She looks physically very fit and strong.
She's heavily protected around the wrists there for vault.
Well, the round-off vaults seem to take quite a lot out of the gymnast's wrists.
Diana Celeru, Romania, her second apparatus is vault. And the wrist protection, Chris?
Yes, they're called panda paws, and they're to just give a little bit of resistance to the pressure from the hands on the floor in front of the springboard.
13.95 for Hannah Whelan. She'll be pleased with that.
Very good, much improved on the bar score.
So she starts the long crawl back. And Diana Celeru waits for the green light on board. Diana Celeru.
Puts the hands down on the mat, lifts, double twist, legs a little bit all over the place.
A little bit wild, but she was so fast through it.
She is very, very fast gymnast.
Talk about fast twitch. That was really did. Zoomed off the top and spun round. Very effective. Sharp work. But like you say, a little bit awry with the legs. Let's have a look. Oh, didn't she go right round like a top?
She did go round like a top, but she actually uses the split legs, doesn't she? She splits them, then whips them in together to create the twist. So I'm sure the coaches have done a lot of work to try and get those feet to stay together, but it's almost a little bit like part of the technique. But the judges won't miss that at all. We could, even on real time, not slow motion, you could see it.
14.35, so she keeps up the challenge.
Good flight.
Danusia Francis stands by on bars. She didn't have a happy outing in 12.95.
She's got some unusual work on bars. She does a squat dislocation into Jaeger, and it depends how well that comes out. She said, she was quoted as saying that she was a little disappointed with her performance on bars.
Danusia Francis for Great Britain. 13.5 she scored on vault. Here she is on bars.
Lovely handstand into the Shaposhnikova, down to the low bar, straight back up again. So she's made those difficult bar changes. Now watch for this, the half turn, forward giant, legs in, out to handstand, and straight into the front somersault. Excellent work.
I think that's fabulous.
Very nice indeed. And then the Kachev as well. Strong work here. So on off half turn. Full pirouette needs to be included. Here she goes, just squeezes it in. That was good work. Up into the double pike dismount. That was a great performance.
Well, she was in the 12s in qualifying. She is not going to be in the 12s for that. I love that combination.
It's very nice indeed, isn't it? But this is a little bit of a problem for her. Just a double pike off. That's only a C dismount, so she immediately loses a few points for that. But Coach Vince Warduck delighted with that performance. Beth very positive there, supporting the team.
You get the feeling with Vince, when he smiles, he means it. Very warm character for his gymnasts.
Very much so. The look of concentration for the gymnasts before they start beam. Many of them will do a mental rehearsal, imagine themselves performing, going through their routine before they start, because there's often a little bit of a wait whilst you're waiting for the judges to be ready.
Danusia Francis. Ah, she's very happy.
Well, that's a piece for her that can sometimes not be so successful. That was a good performance.
So while Danusia waits for her score, we'll go back to the beam and to Julia Steingruber from Switzerland.
Und wir schauen weiter zum Sprung zu Yvette Moshache aus den Niederlanden und am Balken Julia Steingruber, Switzerland.
Julia Steingruber from Switzerland.
Relatively quiet start. You don't have to start with a difficult mount, but straight up into a big pike front somersault. Good combination, change leg leap into the side somersault. Free walkover. Move with D difficulty into the backflip and layout somersault. Gymnasts have to link two acrobatic skills like that. If they don't, it's a 0.5 deduction. And you saw her take quite a little pause before it, didn't want to make any errors. The leap with the half turn. And then the two relatively easy leaps linked. Look to the side. Focuses for the dismount, 1.5 twist off the end. That's a C dismount, not one of the most difficult, but her work on the beam was strong, was steady, was very well focused.
And that's her halfway point in the competition.
It's always quite nice to start with bars because you do bars and beam, the two pieces that it's easiest to make mistakes on.
A few words of encouragement. 13.125, so she's upped her qualifying score, but Danusia Francis puts her into 10th place at the moment.
There we are, the backflip and layout somersault. You can see in slow motion, tiny bit bent legs on both, which the judges will notice and deduct for. Just a little bit bent arms. All those things, bent arms, bent legs, any deviation from perfection, the judges take off the execution score. That starts at 10.
Waiting the performance from Anna Dementieva on beam. She knows Elizabeth Seitz top of the pile at the moment, and Dementieva qualified in second. I wonder if Mustafina's problems will affect her.
Well, she knows it's all resting on her shoulders now, and it's always difficult when you see a teammate get hurt.
Steingruber, 12.875. And here she is, Anna Dementieva, qualified in second place. Anna Dementieva for Russia, carrying their hopes now in this all-around competition.
She was a finalist on beam at the World Championships, so she's got the potential to do well. And that's a very difficult illusion turn to start with. Oh, and a great leap. She took the head right back, foot touched the head. So she started with two very difficult dance elements. And there's the acrobatic elements as well. So that's three very difficult jumps or leaps she's done. Now she's got to add the acrobatics. There's the free walkover immediately into the change leg leap, into the tuck back somersault. Because she managed to link them, she'll get 0.1 bonus each time. And the round off layout somersault, that's the 2 acrobatic elements joined.
You said that nonchalantly, but it's so impressive, isn't it?
It is. She's looking sharp. Let's hope she can keep this concentration going. A free cartwheel, turn in the air, which makes that move quite difficult to be consistent on. The whistle to say 10 seconds to dismount. She does it well. There'll be quite a big deduction for the step off the side, but that was round off flip triple twist. Big difficulty and really well performed.
Lovely work. So
certainly for me, the classiest performance we've seen of the day so far. Every bit of her body extended throughout. There we are, 1 minute 24. At 1:20, you get a whistle, and at 1:30, you get a deduction. There's the round off layout.
But from the side, it looks so high. She attacked it so well.
Yep, very good element for her. And there's the round off backflip, triple twist.
Took it right to the side.
She did. She got the feet round, so I think she'll get the whole the triple twist, and she gets a bonus for putting round off flip before it, but there'll be quite heavy deductions for stepping to the side.
Just as with the men, we're cooking up into a very exciting situation here. Elizabeth Seitz out there in front, waiting for that score from Dementieva. Silaru in second place at the moment. Razzia from Romania, so it's Germany, Romania, Romania. But we're still waiting for a couple of scores to come in. And most importantly, Anna Dementieva's score on beam.
You can see the gymnasts marching round to the next apparatus. They stand in front of the judges. Judges give them a little word of advice, and then they break off for their warm-up.
And it gives us a chance to look back on some of the performances. Julie Crockett from Belgium, you had some very pleasant things to say about her, Chris.
Yes, I've seen her in competition quite a bit on the European scene. Had been with coaching teams that have competed with her, and she's a very efficient gymnast. She's qualified for floor final, and that was a beautiful full twisting double back. 1.5 into 1.5, so that's 2 C elements together. 0.6 for that tumble run.
Nice contrast in mood.
Lovely height on leaps. She's working hard to sell the dance. Has to pull the concentration for the tumbles as well. Very nice, 2.5 into full twisting front. Marks given for artistry. The judges will like this. She's smiled, she's performed, tumbled high, well, secure landings.
Again, delightful. It's lovely to see that balance is not overdone, is it? And 14.175. Let's put her into 11th place at this stage. Vanessa Ferrari on floor. Do you remember that fabulous double straight she used to do, Christine?
Yes, and the double-double.
Yeah, terrific.
I don't think she'll do the double-double any longer, but I expect to see full twisting double back.
Vanessa Ferrari.
Full twisting double back. Twist straight into full twist. serious mood music. Such wonderful landings, lovely height on the tumbles.
The super difficulty might have gone away, Chris, but the elegance hasn't.
Stamina needed for this final tumble to match the big music. The double pike makes it easily.
She's always used that music, hasn't she?
Yes,
always,
yes.
since a little girl. 13.95 for Vanessa Ferrari.
Coach Enrico Casello, I was very fortunate to train in their gym this summer, and she works fantastically hard.
Still with Italy, Carlotta Felito on vault.
And a young gymnast, emerging gymnast. 1.5 twists, really very long vault that probably sacrificed a bit of height for the length, but it was clean. Hit the platform, lifted 1.5 twists, legs are locked together beautifully. Look how far along, nearly to the end of the mat.
13.875.
Of course, the more twists you do, the higher start value you have. So it's very much dependent on the level of twist, the level of difficulty, the score.
Back to live proceedings. Anna Dementieva on top of the pile now. Elizabeth Seitz in second. Diana Shellerou and Elena Razzia in fourth. So it's Romania 3 and 4. Aria Kaisland 7. Hannah Whelan in 12th. Danusia Francis in 13th. This is at the halfway stage. Mustafina with just that one score will stay in 24th position.
These gymnasts are quite tightly packed. We're not seeing many 15s at all. We've had 2 14s on bars just. So it means that everybody else is squashed quite tightly together, and a mistake can be very costly.
Absolutely. Dementieva got a 15.15 on B, and didn't it shine out?
It did shine out, and the only 15, I think, of the competition so far, other than Mustafina's vault.
Elizabeth Sykes on beam. Now, can she maintain her form? She looks so impressive on the first 2 apparatus.
She has, and lots of pressure on her now. And the apparatus that it's so easy to lose confidence on, but she started very well. Good front somersault. Oh, she held that.
It was her lowest scoring piece in qualifying. Just got into the 13s.
Oh, double spin. That's a very risky move. She performed it very well indeed. See the leap just a little bit flat, not quite as high. But she's tight in the middle, the legs are strong. Free walkover. It's the important acrobatic series, the backflip and layout. Somersault holds on to it. Could easily have not done. Gymnasts have to go low to the beam as well. Part of their choreography must take them down onto the beam. And that's a difficult jump. Tourgette. Oh, she's worked well on the beam. Well off the beam as well. Lovely dismount shoot. That was a very good performance under a lot of pressure.
13.05 in qualifying. She's going to be up from that.
Yes.
So she's carried along by the enthusiasm and support of the crowd. The big bear is happy. Is it a bear?
I'm not quite sure, but he's happy. This was where she fought so hard. Look, windmill of the arms. She will lose some marks, but she fought so hard, and she won't. That must be Mum, mustn't it?
Yeah.
Lovely double pike dismount. She's a very athletic gymnast.
She's looking very, very happy with herself. A third apparatus and very impressive after 2. Momentarily held the lead. Second at halfway. And she's really enjoying the occasion. 13.625, that's more like it.
Yes, but it's not a huge score. She's not got huge difficulty or huge class on beam. Bars is a really big piece. But if you can make your 4-piece reasonable, then you're in with a fighting chance.
That's it. She's impressive too. The Romanians have done a lot of hard work. Is that to do with Octavian Bellew coming back into the camp?
I think so. He's back in directing the programme. But
Elena Razia then on floor.
Now, she had a terrible time in qualification, scored 10.9. So she must be out to improve things. And that is a lovely start. Beautiful spin. Full twisting double back, holds it in. Triple twist, very well blocked and spun. It's triple spin as well.
Must have had a nightmare to get 10.9. This is very impressive stuff from her.
Very nice shape. She's quite elegant. She's got to do a tumble with 2 somersaults. Here it goes. The 2.5 into punch front, cleanly negotiated. Lovely height on the leaps. You can watch how high her head goes when she takes off. She looks quite relaxed. Fast for this last tumble, double tuck. Well, that's got to be a big step up on 10.9. Very...
More like it.
Very composed performance.
Indeed. She was in top 6 position. Top 6 place going into this. This won't have done her prospects any harm at all. She really pops that up, doesn't she?
Yep, that's the triple twist. She blocks the shoulders well.
Lots of acceleration, lots of height. Meanwhile, Irina Obzogo from Hungary.
Wow.
Impressive.
That takes some doing, doesn't it? One-armed handstand, bring it down to a straddle lever position. Free walkover, front somersault into the back somersault. Strong free cartwheel. Lots of acrobatic skills. Needs to show us some dance links as well. She's very powerful, isn't she? That standing layout somersault. Not for the gymnast without strong legs. Whoa, but that was a little bit hesitant, full spin. And a little flat on the leap, so her acrobatic skills are much stronger than her dance elements. But it's an acrobatic dismount she needs. Here we go, the round off, the double tuck, well performed.
Well performed indeed.
It's very under pressure, under great pressure, but this was good, wasn't it?
16th coming in with his third apparatus. Let's see how she's fared. She's enjoying herself. How far through are we with the young lady from Belgium?
Oh, that was a very costly mistake. The gymnasts have to include a full pirouette, which she did. It came out the wrong way.
This is Aj van Wellegem.
She swings very nicely on the bars, actually. Lovely energy to her work. A very nice double straight, because she's not a tiny gymnast, and that was a very good technique on that double straight, but the damage was done by the fall earlier on.
And Crockett. Very impressive, aren't they?
Yes, yeah. Well, Julie Crockett qualified 5th, so that really was impressive.
Otsogo 13.175. It's good to see, as we said with the men, Belgium in there, Hungary coming back in here for the women.
Yes,
Good to see it being spread out a little bit.
It is, Mitch, and it is very good to see a spread of nations, not just 1 or 2 nations dominating all the time. And as we're observing, there's not huge disparities in work.
Young lady who must be a medal prospect if she can keep her head. Shelaru, Diana Shelaru from Romania. Elena Ratzia looks so impressive on floor. She's had a good 3 exercises, Ratzia, and again, Romania looking something like their old strength.
They look strong, they look fast, and really well prepared for the job in hand.
Well, we spoke earlier now that Bellew is back in the frame. He must be making a difference.
Well, I think he's creating leadership. I think when he wasn't there, they were struggling with leadership, and a very different environment to what had been there. It would have been a very strong dictatorship, and quite a different society now in Romania. But these gymnasts are looking well motivated, powerful, know their work, which is what, over the years, the Romanian gymnasts have always been. They wouldn't always be the gymnasts that would set the world on fire. You would watch the Russians or the Chinese in awe of their fantastic technique, but both those countries would quite often be fallible, whereas the Romanians, although they might not be so perfect, they were very often the most consistent. So let's see whether he's bringing that back now.
Diana Shelaru then. Romania's very strong prospect. Well, they both are, her and Ratzia, very strong prospect for a medal here.
That was a bit of a wild full pirouette. An interesting ginger between the bars. Bit of a late 1.5 turn into the Jaeger. Just a bit short of handstand again.
Get the feeling it's a tiny bit hurried, isn't it?
It is. It's a bit of a rush. Nothing quite completed as well as it could be. And a bit untidy on that dismount. So she got through okay. She was consistent, but there certainly were places for the judges to deduct.
This E-score situation where judges only look to see faults. In the old days, you might get away with it, but not now. And I think it's one of the strengths of this judging system.
Yes, I would agree, Mitch. Yeah. Ginger, not the highest, legs just a little bit apart as she caught. So that's a typical time when the judges will take 0.1 off, or maybe 0.3, whichever they think it's most like. Now you can see she was quite well past handstand when she released there, when the last hand went on. And really, legs everywhere.
No need for that, was there really?
There wasn't. No, it was a good. It Could have been a very good dismount.
Absolutely. She did the same on vault. You picked it up on vault as well. But she's pleased.
Yeah, I think that was probably as good as she can do, and that's the name of the game.
Things warming up very nicely. A few gymnasts now 3/4 of the way through their competition.
Great Britain, Lucia Francis.
Denusia Francis on beam. Great Britain's Denusia Francis. Well, Christine, beam, a good piece for her.
Oh, she is beautiful on beam. Let's hope she can give a good performance today, because she's got some lovely work. She's fabulously supple. Good girl. Securely through the flip and layout. Lovely soft arms. Double spin as well. That was well performed. Floats the free cartwheel over. And then the side somersault. Lift and control on the spin. Steady so far. Double flip into the dismount. Needs to create power through these flips. One flip, two flips, up, double back. Very nicely performed.
Well done indeed. 13.9 she qualified with. It was her best score. It was a higher score. And she does have that little stamp of elegance there. Lovely work.
She's one of those gymnasts you always want to watch. Even if there's the odd wobble, she's so elegant. She's so lovely, naturally supple. Fought so well.
She's having a good day, Denusia Francis. And Michelle Leroux, 13.45. The E jury doing their job.
Absolutely.
High and easy. Julia Steingruber opens on floor.
Efficient leaps. Clean twist. She opened with a lovely double straight. Needs to finish with a strong tumble. She's given us twists in the middle. Double pike to finish.
This gymnast, they jump so high on the floor. Incredible elevation.
Yeah, she's strong, athletic, powerful.
Und jetzt am Sprung aus Frankreich Marine Brevet und am Stufbahn Stephanie Bispicou aus Griechenland.
Plenty of acceleration too, wasn't there?
Yes, that's the double pike. I hope they were going to show us the double straight again, because you don't see so many double straights from gymnasts, from the women.
Great Britain discusses. 13.4, another good routine on beam for Denusia Francis.
Yeah, Denusia and Hannah happy to be there, performing well.
Julia Steingruber, so powerful, athletic, and her floor tumbling. What about the choreography? What about the package, the presentation?
The choreography didn't sell it to me, I don't think. But and as I said earlier, the judges have quite a lot to award for choreography, for mastery, for artistry. Altogether, there's about 0.8 on offer to be gained by really selling your routine.
Dementieva. Now, Elizabeth Seitz, top of the pile again, and it's just the same story. At the halfway point, second routine, Dementieva goes later on. 13.45 for Julia Steingruber. The question whether Dementieva can overhaul Elizabeth Seitz. Anna Dementieva, the leader at halfway.
That was clean high leap. Full twisting double back, not much wrong with that. Two whips into triple twist.
Lovely stuff.
Super composure on the dance, feet fully extended. Big pause here, must have a difficult tumble, 2.5, front somersault half. Uses the music. Double pike. A class apart for me, Mitch.
Indeed, captivating. Touches of elegance, good presentation, not overdone with the smiling, just a beautiful routine.
For those of you who followed gymnastics for a long time, she's got a little bit about her like Amelia Enchek. Do you remember?
She has, oh yes.
Just a little bit of that cheeky look.
But she can tumble as well. It's there, isn't it? The difficulty, 2.5 twists. Lovely half twist from it. Super. Julie Crockett from Belgium on vault. Full twist.
Unusual handspring front somersault with full turnout. Good to see a little variety on the vault.
I always think it's tough to full twist in a tough position. They're kicking the legs out to make the turn work. Good vault. Sweden congratulating Russia. What was a it was an enthralling full routine, wasn't it, Chris?
It was, and you know, when you're teaching young gymnasts, you're always saying to them, you want your toes pointed all the time when you do your chassé steps, and all her dance work was right on the toes. She looked like a little ballerina, always composed. She didn't look overstretched. It wasn't a gimmicky floor, it was just classically beautiful.
Indeed it was, and she crept into the 14s, and 14's a good floor score, isn't it? Julie Crockett, 14 dead for her vault. It puts her into 6th place, and what does she smile at?
Yeah, creeping up there as well.
3 pieces down. Anna Dementieva.
She really looks quite relaxed, doesn't she?
Nice to see it, isn't it?
Mm. You see, she puts the panda paws on as well. Most of the gymnasts use these. It just takes a bit of the stress off the wrists, because they actually come onto the platform quite low as well, in order to be able to block and come off very high. She looks relaxed, but she knows what she's after, a good score.
Surely she's going to get comfortably into the 14s.
Well, she scored 14.025.
14.475 for Anna Dementieva. She's upping her game, rising to the challenge.
That's right, well up on the qualifying score, 0.4 more.
Ariela Kaislin, the last to go on floor in this rotation.
Two and a half twists. I was about to say very powerful tumbler. I expected a big first tumble. 2.5, 1.5 full. So both tumbles so far twists. Spin, not nearly such assured work as on the beam. Must do a multiple somersault now. Oh, double twist just. I wonder if she's struggling with a bit of an injury at all. Triple spin. Now to get, if you don't have a multiple somersault, a double somersault, you lose a whole 0.5. So I'm sure she'll try one here. Yes, double pike to finish.
Well, Ariela Kaislin, I'm not sure if she sold that well. She looked almost as if, let's get through it. Is she favouring carrying an injury somewhere?
Well, I do wonder, because she's a great vaulter and normally a powerful tumbler, and that was very ordinary tumbling in comparison to what we've seen before. She doesn't seem to be problematic. See the double spin, she fell right out of that, which will be quite heavily deducted by the judges. This, the double pike somersault at the end, she looked strong enough then. No indication of any problems.
But the expression on the face just told me that, well, that's another one down.
Yes, whereas on beam, she really fought and gave a real performance.
Well, just as with the men, it's cooking up into a very interesting competition. There's some different names in the frame, which is always good for the sport. One apparatus remaining. Teddy's up on the floor getting the crowd going. The friendly bear.
Well, if Germany are to medal in this women's competition all around, as well as the men's, it will be a fantastic achievement. A long, long time since a female gymnast from Germany has been dominant or made a significant contribution all round like this.
Look back. Vanessa Ferrari on vault.
When she first burst on the scene, she was so fast, such a big tumbler. Oh, 1.5 twist. She recovered well there, because she looked a little bit as if that was a straight-legged landing.
Well, yeah, the knee could lock out very badly there, and she hobbled away a little bit, didn't she? Let's have a close look.
Yes, look. Yes, she was lucky to get away with that, and in fact, it looks like she's a little bit uncomfortable.
13.875. Marine Brevet from France on vault. What do we know about her, Christine?
Well, like all the French, they're strong competitors. She didn't have a good qualification. She came in quite low, but she's capable of much more. Good round off, lovely lift, full twist, a little bit pike down at the end.
efficient.
Efficient, but she's had a much happier day today. Twisted just a little bit early, had to pike down at the end there, but good style.
13.525 for Marine Brevet. Carlotta Felito. And she's having a good steady competition as well. This is her bars routine.
Jump from the board, straight up. Hit that handstand well. And that. Stolder in and out with full turn. Gymnasts have to do close bar elements. That's where they fold the body in half. As well as the long swings. This is nice forward swing into hop over the bar. Big dismount, half in, double front. A little bit not great technique on those last couple of elements.
She wasn't happy with it either. They know how it feels if it's not gone well.
Tuck the legs up very early. You normally see the feet up, the half turn, and then the double front.
13.175 for Carlotta Felito. Both the Italian gymnasts have gone into the top 10 on this rotation. Just one apparatus to go now.
Looks like we're just waiting for the bars to finish warming up. Some of the gymnasts like the bars very chalky, some of them like it rubbed down, so you're allowed to prepare the bars and then have your warm-up time, so it can sometimes be a little bit lengthy and slow on the bars.
We're waiting for this caption to come up to let you know what the rankings are. Here it is. Anna Dementieva, 43.875, 0.9 ahead of Elizabeth Seitz. That's good news for Germany. Diana Celeru from Romania in third, and Elena Razzia in fourth. Anna Whelan in 11th place, Tunisia Francis in 15th. So we've got Ferrari and Felito for Italy in the top 10. Ferrari in 5th. Julia Steingruber from Switzerland in 18th. There is the leader with one apparatus to go.
Yes, she needs just to vault well and efficiently.
But it's not the same for the women as it is for the men. You don't get any gifts on vault here.
No, the scores for the women are very much more even, really.
Elizabeth Seitz, you can see her series consistent for her second place. Will she get a medal? That would be great, wouldn't it?
It would be very good, and she's going to finish on floor, isn't she? Plenty to do on floor, but she scored well in qualifying. 13.65, yes, yeah. Well, but not exceptionally well. But we've had 1, 2, 3 14s today.
There's the series. 14s and a 15. That's what puts her 0.9 ahead of the game.
That's right, the only gymnast with a 15 today, other than Mustafina, who of course got the 15 on vault but couldn't continue through injury.
Stage is set. It's good for the host nation if Elizabeth Seitz can hang on in a medal place, but there's a tough challenge behind her with Celeru and Razzia from Romania. It's a strong company. Vanessa Ferrari is creeping up there as well.
Yes.
It's lovely to see.
That is great to see. Ferrari finishes with bars, Celeru with beam, which is a good piece for her. Razzia for vault, which is a very good piece for her. So I think it's going to be quite a fight. In fact, it's going to be Razzia on vault in qualifying 14.525. That was a big score. I think only a couple of scores higher.
Diana Celeru, 1 questionable mark, 13.45, but she was wild, wasn't she?
She was wild,
Yeah,
yes.
the E jury, lots of scope for deduction.
And finishing with beam, historically a good piece for Romania, although always difficult to finish on when you're under pressure. Difficult because of all the apparatus. It's easiest to make the mistake there. On floor, if you land a little bit offline, you can take a step. On beam, you have to be absolutely precise. A step to the side is a step off the apparatus.
The roof will come off if she manages to medal, Elizabeth Seitz. It's so good for the sport as well. You see these nations coming back in.
Absolutely. So we seem to have a little bit of a hold up here.
We'll know very quickly her fate because she's first up on floor. What did you say, 13.65 in qualifying?
13.65 in qualifying, and she's...
Wouldn't she love a 14? That's what she needs, really.
Yes, because Selaru is 0.6 behind her. That's quite significant. I think if she stands on her feet, she should.
Yeah. That's the leader, Anna Arentieva.
A little bit impatient there to get going, as are all the gymnasts. You warm up and you want to get going, but there seems to be some sort of question whether there's been a protest from somebody. The coaches are allowed to protest, and you have to protest within a certain amount of time of the score being posted. So it's possible that there has been a protest to be dealt with.
And every 10th counts, of course.
Yes, and when you're getting close like this to the finishing line.
She has to stay very calm. Well, whatever the problem is being sorted out. It's a great mental test. In front of a home crowd. Last apparatus, first up.
They must consider that that it's nearly resolved, otherwise she wouldn't have stepped up onto the podium. Here we are, the gymnast on the beam. She looks like she's steadying for her dismount.
As Van Wellehem.
These gymnasts are so impressive on these dismounts off the end of the beam. Just one step into a round of double pipe. Very strong work.
Well, I wonder what the rest of the routine looked like, Christy.
Well, the coach looks reasonably happy, even if she doesn't.
Well, we're focusing. This is the reason they're focusing. They don't want to miss Elizabeth Seitz on floor. And here she goes. She was in second coming in, Elizabeth Seitz for Germany, in silver medal position coming into this last apparatus. But she's got a lot to do to stave off the Romanian challenge.
So important, this first tumble. Full twisting, double pike. No hesitation. 1.5 walk out. Into 2.5. Very clean, straight into a jump. Just a little fall out the triple spin.
Crowd lifting her now.
Strong double pike. has to include a forward element, so that free walkover counts as that. Needs this big tumble, double tuck, makes it well.
She's given it her all. She can do nothing now but wait to see. She posted a high enough score to give a tough challenge to those still to follow.
Well, she's certainly done her job. The crowd were clapping so loud she couldn't hear the music, but she rose to the challenge. She performed really well. She hasn't given away any silly mistakes, and that's all you can ask of any gymnast.
Teddy's pleased. Look at that. Picture of determination.
Strong tumbling here. Full twisting double back.
Aus Schweden und Diana Maria Gelaro aus Rumänien am Band.
This such an important performance. Strong, positive front somersault. And another one, taking off from 1 foot that time. The backflip, the layout somersault to land on 2 feet. She moves so fast and confidently along the beam. Free walkover. Changed leg to tuck back, but she didn't quite join the 3 elements, which would give her that little extra bonus. Can't be blamed for going for a little bit of safety. Snatches the full spin.
I like her attack. She just gets on with it, doesn't she? Very sharp.
Yes, very much part of the Romanian style to attack the apparatus. This, her final challenge. 1 flip, 2 flip, double tuck. She's there. Now the judges have to decide between those 2 performances.
We've got yet another nail-biter. Big battle on for the medals. 2 from Romania, 1 from Russia, 1 from Germany. And Vanessa Ferrari waiting in the background. So the score very important, 13.725. 56.7 is her bid.
She was about 0.6 ahead of Telleroo, wasn't she, before this final apparatus? We will see.
So 14.3 would do it for Telleroo, or 14.375, I think. Just doing mental arithmetic, but just tiny little ragged form there, but she's so sharp, almost disguises it.
She does, doesn't she? 2 flips, the lift into the double back, hops back. It's got energy, the performance.
13.975, so she doesn't overhaul sights.
Well, the judges saw those slight ragged areas as well, Mitch, and they held firm.
So we have Germany 1, Romania 2nd at the moment. Julia Steingruber stands by.
Now, this gymnast qualified top on vault.
She had a problem on beam, 12.875, so she's Julia Steingruber, her last piece of apparatus. It's the vault.
She got a massive 15.175 in qualification, so look out for something really special here.
Must be all that Swiss cheese, you know. I mean, the two Swiss girls, they vault superbly, don't they? Geislin still to come, of course. Here we go.
The handspring on, the 1.5 twist off, and really that was excellent vaulting.
Lovely kick out into the twist. Super technique.
Hit it beautifully well.
Little giggle.
The coach is delighted.
Geislin gets in there as well, breaks her focus just to congratulate her teammate. That's really good camaraderie.
Now she's looking very impressive. She qualified top on vault, and I reckon that
Oh yeah,
the gold medal on vault will probably be hers tomorrow.
that was lovely to watch. Look at this.
Lifts, so efficient in the 1.5 twist, down the middle.
Max centre.
Very little to deduct.
Love it. Terrific.
Just waiting.
Thumbs up indeed. 15.375. And that's pulled her up in the 4th position at the moment. Well, that's terrific vaulting. Lovely to see it. And Dementieva approaches vault, her last apparatus. She had a 0.9 lead coming in to this last apparatus. There's the standings at the moment. Seitz, Gelleroux, Celine van Gerner from the Netherlands, Julia Steingruber and Hannah Whelan from Great Britain at this point. So she just needs to stand up.
She does. Complete her vault confidently.
Seitz in 1. Gelleroux in 2nd. And they were the big medal contenders going in. Lazia still to go, Ferrari still to go, and of course Dementieva. This is Marta Bianculezza from Poland.
Oh, quadruple spin. So we've seen difficult dance. Here comes the tumbling, double twisting front somersault. Given very good difficulty.
Round competition, the first one at this level, first final. For Marta Bianculezza, and here is Anna Dementieva.
Her weakest piece in qualification.
This vault is for the gold medal all round. Anna Dementieva, the last apparatus, and she's away.
Flips on, lifts high. Just a single twist, I think. She played safe. She only scored a 30 here in qualification, and that's about the same sort of score she'll get this time.
She had a 0.9 advantage coming in. She should be all right.
Lifts up, just one twist. We're used to seeing the Russian gymnasts whip those double twists in, but she held a lovely shape. Big step back.
It was a good decision, I think.
It was
vault
indeed.
is not her strongest piece, Chris. And
when you've got a good lead and you know that if you put your feet down, you're going to be safe.
yeah, that's done it, I think. 13.6 the score. Spot on with your prediction. Anna Dementieva is pretty much there.
Yep. And a delightful gymnast as well.
She only dropped a tenth or two from a 0.9 lead. She's ahead of Seitz. Gellerou in third at the moment. And we're waiting for Razzia to go, Ferrari to go, to see if they can make any impression on the medal positions. 13.7 for Marta Pienkulece from Poland in her first all-round final. She goes into sixth. Denicia Francis for Great Britain stands by. She's had a good competition, hasn't she?
So far, so good. She's not got the huge difficulty of some of the gymnasts, but she makes up for it with wonderful elegance and style.
Denicia Francis, one of two Britons in this all-around final, closes her programme on floor.
Well lifted, well landed, double pike somersault. Builds power through the round-off flip, 2.5 punch front. Nice control on the spin.
Lovely to watch, isn't she? 16 years old and really selling a lot of elegance here.
Yes, just a couple more big skills and she's got the style, the elegance to really command the big scores. Finishes with the double tuck for the D, deep landing but holds on to it well.
Well done, delightful little finish. Almost buckled on that double tuck, but look at that. That's grace.
Yeah, a real natural grace.
Great to watch.
Pushes back through the flip. This, the double back at the end, and you can see she hits the floor and nearly lets the knees go.
Ariella Kaislin, we're so used to seeing her dominate vaulting, to see her teammate vault so well. There's something lackluster about her last two performances. Is she all right? Is she injured? I wonder.
I don't know, she really doesn't look bubbling, does she?
The coach is doing his best to cheer her up, but something's amiss here.
Perhaps she just doesn't feel well.
Denicia Francis, you'd be pleased with her outing today, yes.
She's been a very successful junior gymnast through the years, shown lots of promise.
13.35, 11th place at the moment. Ariella Kaislin, 14.75, puts her into sixth at the moment. Teammate Steingruber is in seventh. Not a good day for Switzerland.
Yeah, not bad at all. They've not shone on every piece, but they certainly have shone on the vault. Posted the top two scores on vault.
Stephanie Lusenpiku on floor for Greece.
Good twist into straight front somersault. stylish gymnast. Relatively simple tumble for this level so far. And again, just double twist. It's a little bit short on power. Even the height of the leap a little bit flat. Runs powerfully. Lifts into the double pike somersault, just overruns slightly and out of the floor area.
Well, that's a competition finished. Pico and Grace. Still some very interesting performances to come. Those medals are still up for grabs. We're still waiting to see Elena Rația from Romania in with a chance of a medal. And here she is, Elena Rația, going for a medal.
And a big double twist. Cleanly round, just a little bit offline. That should be able to squeeze a 14 out.
Celaru then, she's in third place for Romania, her teammate, so she's in a little bit of danger.
Just a little bit. This, it was a big score in qualification.
Listen, Biku waiting for her score. But crucially, Rația, Elena Rația, there she is.
It was a 14.525 in qualifying.
Lost form though, didn't she, there in the last phase of the twisting?
Yes, very much so. Quite late, the final twist.
Why do things like that always get the biggest cheer? Ferrari is waiting to go on bars. Rația score we're waiting for. Celaru's medal position is in danger, and it is 14.4. Elena Rația has moved into bronze medal position.
So she's pushed out her teammate Celaru, but not been able to make any inroads on Elisabeth Seitz from Germany.
Well, she's looking delighted. Been interviewed now by Mr. Edward Ted.
She knew that was the danger score. That was the one she had to keep her eye on.
Family look delighted. They must be family.
Italy,
Vanessa Ferrari, we can't jump the gun in terms of the bronze medal. If she does something incredible on bars, and it will have to be, she could just squeeze it. He was in fifth.
Full turn in the inverted swing and full pirouette up high into the Jaeger somersault. Links those pirouettes well. Down to the low bar. That was quite flat, that transfer. Needs a bit of strength for that handstand. Swings well, double twisting, oh sorry, single twisting, double back. It was an efficient routine, but it did just have one or two little areas for the judges.
High 14s to get a bronze. She's not going to do it.
No, she won't be into the 14s. We've only had one or two of those all day. There's the Jaeger somersault, high, above the bar. It's a good bar routine. And a strong dismount. She lifts up above the bar, finishes the twist nice and early, able to see the floor.
So she was in fifth. To hang on to that, she's got to beat teammate Carlotta Filito, but that is the women's all-round champion of Europe, Anna Dementieva.
The coaches, medical staff, the judges.
Great. She's got elegance, she's got consistency, she's got difficulty as well. Played it safe on the vault. Good gameplay at this stage.
And she's a very charming champion as well. She presents gymnastics well. It doesn't look stressed. In control of what she's doing.
That is good to see. That's when you see that. Coping with it well within herself. That's it. She's got herself a medal. She'll be pleased. Bronze for Romania. But there'll be a roar if we see Elizabeth Sykes in the next few seconds.
Well, just 16 years of age. Didn't have a very good qualification. Just scraped in at the bottom. And then performed fantastically to take that third place medal.
A red letter day for Germany. They've taken the gold in the men's and they've got a silver. There she is, Elizabeth Sykes in the women's competition. Very good for the home nation and well deserved. Silver medal for Elizabeth Sykes. Dementieva looks superb though. Held it together. Some other performances just to wrap up the competition. This is Marine Brevet from France. Finished her competition on bars.
And lovely full pirouette to start off. I'm sure she meant to immediately go into this, the Shaposhnikova. Favoured by a lot of gymnasts, that combination of the swing to the high bar back down to the low. Stolders nicely. Half turn, here comes the release. High Jaeger somersault, you saw that beautifully early. Torn off with half turn. Swings well into the half turn, double front dismount, an efficient routine. But you know, only a handful of gymnasts are able to push their start values into the sixth.
France have got a good pedigree, haven't they, on bars?
They have, and they haven't seemed to be so successful at this championships. They've got 1 or 2 juniors that come up for next year, but haven't arrived yet this year.
13.35 for Marine Brevet. She finished the top 10 position will be her target, I'm sure. Julie Crockett from Belgium. She had a good comp, Chris.
Well, we didn't see all of it, but we saw good floor. And she's strong on the bars. Starts with the shoot up. Nice handstand. Oh, big high catcher. A little bit untidy around the feet, but lots of height. Very nice swing up, full pirouette into the Jaeger, lovely arm's length. This is big, strong bar work. But this, just that shoot up was a little bit dead. She's quite a tiny gymnast. This has been efficient work, the full twisting double back. Good, strong, solid work. I'm sure she's a gymnast we will see building on the world stage now. This is the first competition that she's really shown her worth at, and I'm sure that she'll build from this. We'll see a good World Championships from her, I expect.
Julie Crockett from Belgium, 13.05. Belgium again. In the competition with Celine van Gerner there from the Netherlands. Good to see the nations at the races here. Anna Dementieva then takes gold in the women's all-round. Elizabeth Sykes, a hugely popular silver medalist from Germany. Elena Razzia got the better of Chelarue to take the bronze. And Vanessa Ferrari slipped behind her teammate to go down to 6th. Hannah Whelan finished in 13th place. And Tanusia Francis in 16th for Great Britain. And a word here for Alia Mustafina, qualified 3 marks ahead almost. Huge score on vault and then had to leave the competition.
Well, let's just very much hope that it's not a bad injury and that